Hey guys, what's up? It's Clay Ranger 143 here, along with...
You know who I am.
No, we don't.
Can't you tell by the pink hair? I'm Miss Radioactive.
No, you're not.
Pink hair then. Just kidding. I'm Miss VR.
That's better.
I'm the watery Miss Radioactive.
Anyways, we're literally going on a bit of a roll here with new episodes of radio reviews. And I think that Val over here is going to immediately approve of what it is, because this is something that I have been wanting to review for a long time. Since Season 4, in fact, until plans went south with that particular radio. Until today. Because we finally have one in our possession. Again, thanks to MontyCat33 and the Siren Geek, we are finally going to get down to it. Because in this episode of Radio Reviews, we're going to be taking a look at the black pill that has Eton firmware. And that would be the jWIN JX-M133. Okay, the beloved jWIN radio, the jWIN JX-M133. This is a radio that was originally intended to be reviewed in Season 4, but unfortunately, plans went south with that radio, involving the seller, and life changing quickly. But thanks to Mitchell and Holly, we officially have one in our possession to review it right here, right now. And it is, it's just beautiful. As I proceed to drop it there, but hey.
I agree.
Look at this. This is literally... Alright, I'm going to be more careful with it. I'm careful with these things.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pillow. Because that's really what it looks like. A phone pillow.
It does look like a pillow. It's almost as big as the Sharecom. It's huge. It's like massive. Look, this is my hand, and then there's the jWIN underneath. It's massive. But, yeah. The jWIN JX-M133 is definitely a nice relic, especially with the screen. But this thing has some certain firmware that is basically from Eton. Literally. It has Eton firmware, but it's slightly upgraded to an extent. And this radio actually has AM/FM capabilities, like most Etons. So that's a plus. Also, the screen kind of low-key reminds me of a Midland WR400. Look at it. Look at it. Hold on. Let me put this, now that we have the jWIN, we can literally compare it to the 400 screen. Look at it. There's the jWIN and there's the 400. The 400 screen is darker, and it's so dusty. Hang on, I gotta clean that. Ugh. That's dusty. But the jWIN has like a light shade with black text. But it's almost like it's inverted. The only difference is between the 400 screen and the jWIN screen is that the jWIN screen shows a big oval above the time that says alert, either voice or siren. Just like the Zone Guards. Because you can see the ovals right there on the Zone Guard and the Zone Guard Plus. And I think the Solar Link has that. Yep, the Solar Link does have that. So does the Weather Tracker FR800. But the jWIN has that too. As you can see, there's two big buttons on the top. One that says Weather Hazard On Off, and the snooze or dimmer for the screen, which actually dims the backlight. This is your quick access button for the backlight. You can either have it off completely, you can have it on high, middle, or low, or completely off. Right now, we're going to leave it on high. And another difference between the jWIN and the WR400 is that it shows the date on the bottom of the screen. And in this case, it shows that this radio had to come out in 2009 because the boot up date is literally January 1st of 2009. Let's take a look at the backs. Yeah, this is the back of the jWIN. Dual alarm clock, same weather receiver with AM/FM radio. JX-M133. I thought it was JX-M.
Instead of Michael can't talk.
Shut up. Anyways, I always thought it was JX. I thought it was always JX-M-133, not JX-M133. But on the bottom, there's really nothing to explore here apart from the battery cover, which is a unique way of mounting 4 AA batteries. And the jWIN, the information on the back, this is actually a stand. You can retract it back and it tilts it. So now you have a tilted jWIN. So yeah, how about that? You can either have it on its feet or tilted upwards from the stand. So yeah, we're going to get into this radio's cool quirks and weird features as we get into the first feature of the jWIN JX-M133, and that would be the Siren Test. Okay, the Siren Test on the jWIN JX-M133. Now this is already an upgrade from Eton's regular firmware, because as you know, Etons don't have Siren Tests. Yeah. How shit is that? But the jWIN, they actually played it smart and included one. A bitch. As soon as I clicked select, it backed me out. Really? Alright. This is the Siren Test on the jWIN.
Long ass telephone.
It does, honestly. But yeah. There's like several buttons everywhere on this thing. There's a separate volume button, I think, for the radio. It has AM/FM right there. There's also another feature of the Siren Test where you can like change the volume. Oh my god, the buttons aren't working. There we go. The buttons aren't working. Anyways. Yeah, there is a little feature here where you can change the level from high to low. It doesn't really make a difference, though. No matter what, if it's on low or high, the jWIN is still going to wake you up. Literally. You can't stop the jWIN. I also noticed that it has a key lock feature. Another render. But yeah, I also noticed that it has a key lock feature. Huh. I don't know how to access it, but we're probably going to find out soon enough. We just don't know when. Anyways, why don't we just go ahead and get to the next feature on the jWIN. God, there's so many features on this thing. I have no idea where to start. I really don't know where to start. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the next feature. And if I can back out of the menu, bruh, the buttons stop working periodically. I hate that. But anyways, let's get to the next feature, and that would be the alert blocking. Okay, the alert blocking feature on the jWIN JX-M133. So if you go here into the menu, and hang on, I just gotta name a file for rendering purposes. Gotta love Vegas Movie Studio Platinum with its super fast rendering presets. Anyway. Oh, like, legit. Anyways, the alert blocking on the jWIN JX-M133. Oh my god, I hate these buttons. That's another complaint I'll have to get into soon. But if you go in here to defeat Siren, just like any other Eton radio, you will see that it has all the alerts that it is set to go off for, along with enable on the side, enable or disable on the side for each alert. Let's say I want to disable powered outage advisory. Let's say I wanted to disable that. You have to press the up arrow. Where's power outage advisory? Let's say I want to disable it. You have to press either the left arrow or the right arrow to disable or enable it. So let's say I want to disable power outage advisory. It's now disabled. I'm going to re-enable that. Let's say I want to disable special marine warning because I live nowhere near the coast. Disabled. And it's like that with every single alert that is built into this radio. So, yeah, that's a interesting feature. Now, we're getting into the complaints for the jWIN. Already, we're getting into the complaints. And I think Valerie knows exactly what the fuck we are going to start with. And that would be the very, very shitty buttons. For the past 2 features, just 2, I was already having trouble with this thing. As you saw, blatantly in front of your eyes, as you saw, I was having severe programming issues with the buttons because they were being purposefully non-cooperative. No matter how hard I would press. You have to press down hard, but I'm afraid I'll break it because it feels so flimsy. The buttons really are not that good. And the menu lag makes it even worse. And look, look. The button is not cooperating. It's not working. You have to press it really hard just to get it to work. But that's just terrible. The buttons, sometimes it doesn't even work at all. And look, the menu button doesn't even work all the time either. Okay, look at this. This is disgusting. How can jWIN get away with something as bad as this? I swear, the buttons are almost as bad as the zone guards. Because they have the same exact issue. I don't know what the fuck it is. But as of right now, the buttons are just absolute crap. Which reminds me, we need to get into the next feature as another video has just been rendered. We need to get into the next feature for the jWIN that's also a complaint, and that would be the menu lag. Okay, the menu lag on the jWIN JX-M133. This radio is literally, God, in terms of this, it's so bad. The menu lag is literally giving me version 8 WR300 vibes. Speaking of which, here's my version 8. The menu lag on this is already bad enough. We reviewed this back in Season 7 when me, Mitchell, and Holly were at the campus in Cleveland County. But look at the jWIN. You've seen the fucking menu lag on the V8 300. But look at the menu lag on the jWIN. Just look at it. Not only do the buttons have shoddy workmanship, but just take a look at this. The menu lag is literally just as bad as the version 8. And with the buttons being as flimsy as they are, continuing to be purposefully non-cooperative. It just makes it for... I can't even say a sentence correctly. I am so frustrated with the menu lag right now because this thing is literally... They could have done so much better, but they didn't. They used a flimsy circuit just to make the buttons operate. It doesn't matter if they operate good or bad. They just operate whenever they feel like it, even when you press it down hard. But the menu lag just makes it even worse. So that is extremely, extremely inconvenient. Especially when you're trying to set up the radio. When you first get this in the mail, and you wonder why not too many people have these. As rare as that may be. But my God, the menu lag is terrible. It's just terrible. I don't know how else to say it. But because of the flimsy workmanship of the buttons, combined with the menu lag, let me just say one fucking thing. This menu lag on the jWIN, dare I say, is worse than the version 8 by a long shot. Case closed. It sucks. Alright, the design of the jWIN JX-M133. Just looking at it, it looks very sleek, and it's like a black flying saucer with two oval-shaped buttons on top, with about half of the radio being covered by a gigantic speaker grill, which is essentially what this thing is. You got your antenna nicely placed on the back of the radio here with a holder. On the back, you have a slot for the DC jack, of course. You have your external alert, which can be used to plug in a strobe light. And you can also plug in headphones, as well as an external antenna. Like I said, on the bottom, you have the stand, the battery cover, which comes off easily with some very yellowed foam. And inside, you can store 4 rechargeable or alkaline AA batteries for backup power. And on the back of the stand, you can actually see all the details of the frequencies for NOAA weather radio channels. As you can see, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, 26, channel 6, and channel 7. Power source is a 6 volt, 4 times AA batteries, UM3, and the adapter that it takes is a 12 volt, 250 milliamp jack. But that's not all. This radio gave a little bit of inspiration to the radio that's going to be featured next week, as you shall see. You have the warning, watch, and advisory lights on the bottom left corner of the radio underneath the volume up and down knob. You have the radio AM/FM alert on off and the power button for AM/FM. Kind of similar to the 300 and the 400, actually. And again, the screen is like the 400. The screen, which we'll get to in a minute, has an inverted color scheme compared to that of the WR400. And I think it's basically meant to copy the Eton radios. Because if I put it on high, it's literally the exact same color. It's a little bit of a bland color than the backlight colors on most modern Etons, like the SolarLink, the FRX3, the FR800 weather tracker, all that jazz. Speaking of the screen, we might want to get into that next, because this screen is terrible! Yes, you heard me right. The screen is terrible to some degree, but it's not all bad. It's only when you look at a distance from it, because look, granted, this is a tabletop radio. You're supposed to look down at the screen, but don't look too far, otherwise the screen will completely vanish. Even to the human eye, it's still hard to see when you're looking from this angle. And you're supposed to be looking at this from the top. Even with the stand down, it doesn't help. But with the stand up, it just makes it even worse. You literally can't see anything on that screen unless you look far enough. And now it's inverted. Not just that, but the sides, it can get a little bit confusing too because of the glare of this huge piece of plastic over the screen. Because this is plastic. This whole portion of the radio is clear plastic with lettering built in and engraved on it. This is plastic, and the screen lies securely underneath that plastic. And as a result, because of how clear it is, look at the glare. You see these rainbow-ish lines, rainbow-colored lines? Yeah, you see that? That's literally the common effects of screen glare. And sometimes it can distract you when you're setting up the screen, and that's pretty bad. So yeah, the screen isn't all bad, but in terms of that, it's just awful. Why couldn't they make it like this? Look, why couldn't they make it like the concept photo? Oh wait, because it's a concept. Had they made it like this, it would have been slightly better. Just like the WR400. At least Midland was smart about their 400, like their newest radio. But this one has like a very, very quite... I keep yawning. How do you say this? The screen on this is quite... It's a bit, how do I say this? Nauseous in terms of the coloration, because I don't like that color. I really don't. This would have been way better than this. But either way, it works, I guess. So let's just go ahead and get into the speaker quality. And yes, there's only one speaker in this huge area where they could have added two or just one big speaker. That's it. Let's just get to that, shall we? Okay, the speaker quality on the jWIN JX-M133. So as usual, we need to raise up the antenna and go straight over to channel 6 to find out how exactly the speaker quality is. Hopefully it'll be good enough.
In South Carolina, at Columbia, it was clear with a temperature of 53. At Greenville, Spartanburg, it was mostly cloudy with a temperature
Let's go all the way down. Fun fact, when you turn down the volume all the way, you can hear the tuner actually engaged. Hear that?
Mostly cloudy. Lows around 30. Northeast winds around 5 miles an hour. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Highs in the lower 40s. North winds around 5 miles an hour. Wednesday night, cloudy with a 40% chance of rain. Patchy fog. Near steady temperatures in the upper 30s. Southwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Thursday, cloudy. A chance of showers in the morning, then showers likely in the afternoon. Not as cool times in the mid-50s. South winds around 5 miles an hour. Chance of rain 60%. Thursday night, showers. Lows in the upper 40s. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 90%. The extended forecast for the listening area. New Year's Day, a slight chance of thunderstorms. Showers. Highs in the lower 60s.
So the speaker quality is actually pretty tolerable on the jWIN. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, honestly, because comparing it to the buttons that we reviewed earlier, along with the menu lag, which is constant, by the way, I was not expecting the jWIN speaker to be that good. I really wasn't. So, yeah. Why don't we go ahead and get to the next feature? And you know what that is. Why, of course, the reception. All right, the reception on the jWIN JX-M133. We had to go through that lagged up menu again with the hard to press buttons. Come on, you piece of fucking shit. God, they are terrible.
Which was set in 2015.
Oh my God. Piece of shit.
Weather radio, all hazards. KJY85 broadcasting from the Iredale.
Well, for the outdoor reception, we're going to have to do it reversed from channel 7 down to 1 because the up button doesn't want to fucking work. What a piece of garbage. Anyways, outside we go. Okay, let's see how the jWIN does out here in the cold North Carolina night. Let's see how it does.
With 41 degrees. In Rock Hill, it was partly cloudy. The temperature was 47 degrees. Elsewhere in North Carolina, it was clear with a temperature was 47 degrees. At the Rock Hill Airport, it was 47 degrees and partly cloudy. In Charlotte, it was 49 degrees and partly cloudy. Now for the official national weather forecast for Rock Hill and vicinity. Asheville, Hendersonville, tonight, mostly cloudy. Weather service forecast for the Mooresville area, including Charlotte and Starkville. Tonight, partly cloudy.
God, the reception is not as good as I hoped it would be. It's pretty damn bad. Even outside, I can only pick up like 2 channels accordingly. At least good enough to receive. Damn. I thought it would be better than that. I thought because this radio, I thought this was a much higher end radio than that. That's complete bull. Even on clear nights like this, even though you can't see anything. Oh, you can see that. Even on clear winter nights, it can't even work right. I thought it was a much higher end radio than that. That's complete bull. But I don't know. You get what you get, I guess. What you see is what you get. All right, the AM/FM functionality on the jWIN JX-M133. So yeah, this radio, as I mentioned earlier, has AM/FM capabilities. And again, we need to extend the antenna for it to work properly. As if the radio wasn't already working improperly already. So yeah, to engage AM/FM mode, you need to press this power button right here. And now you are in. You saw that, right? You use the left and right buttons to tune. But because the buttons are so fucked up, it keeps going to the memory presets.
Another aspect of Singapore's wellness strategy is to encourage social interaction through initiatives like its neighbourhood social wellness hubs and 3-generation playgrounds.
When you have a playground where the children are playing, we locate the exercise stations next to the playground because the grandparents are the one who bring the children down to play. So you want them to be in the same space and to interact. And this is great for mental wellness and also for health.
Mental health and well-being are also connected to social equity and inclusiveness, so creating a social safety net, especially housing, is central to Singapore's vision.
Something like 80% of our population is housed in public housing. Everything is there. Beyond housing, you have schools, sports facility, healthcare facilities. So what gives people peace of mind and mental health? In the world, everywhere is the same.
And to go to AM, you just press the radio AM FM button right here. Now you are in AM mode. I hate these buttons. Bruh, 840 doesn't even come in. There it goes. WHAS. So yeah, the AM/FM feature on the jWIN is clearly, evidently working, but with the flaws with the buttons, sometimes it'll make it hard to use, as you just saw earlier, because that flaw alone is what makes the jWIN so tedious and so undeniably frustrating to use. Because think about it, you're trying to use a radio and it's like it's going against you. Like, what the fuck, bruh? Let's face it, the build quality on the jWIN is gonna be pretty bad. And someone joined Discord, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty bad. I'll tell you why, too, because, yeah, those buttons interfere with a lot of things, and we're going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why right now as we move on to the build quality of the jWIN. Okay, the build quality on the jWIN JX-M133. Where do I begin? We already covered the fact that this radio has shitty buttons that barely respond to anything. Look, they're not even responding now, and some buttons are actually being mistook for another button. Look, the select button is being mistaken as the fucking weather snooze button. Oh man, that's a major strike in build quality already. But let's see the good sides of things for once. Let's take a look. So, we already know that the radio is basically covered and coated with clear plastic all over the screen. And that it has a metal speaker grill on this side. And yes, it's real metal. If you could, you could probably notice it on camera, but If you can feel it, yeah. It's metal. And then the antenna is also very nice and sturdy. This dome, by the way, is, yeah, it's the original antenna. The stand is also very sturdy as well, because it has these rubber pads underneath, I guess, to protect the radio, because you have some exposed circuitry right there. So that's good. The batteries inside the battery slot and the battery cover as well. We already know that the battery cover has some foam on it, even though foam yellows easily, because this is originally white, I believe, and now, or maybe it was this color already. Maybe it was this color to begin with, and then this part right here just got faded or something, but yeah. All I know is the foam feels nice, and that it has this useful little battery ribbon to take out the batteries if they are inaccessible. Because, yeah, I can imagine getting some batteries out of this can be pretty tedious. But there is one thing I don't like, if you can see that there. One of the battery contacts is rusted out and corroded. But as you can clearly see, yeah, that's rusted out completely. But somehow it's still working. And then you have the other contacts inside. I could reset the radio, actually. I'm going to do that. Just to take out the batteries to see what's inside the other one. I know on this side it's just a bunch of springs and stuff. But yeah, as you can see down there, there's the other battery contact, and that one is not corroded. This one is, for some reason, but maybe the original owner left some mixed batteries or whatever, because if you put mixed battery types in a device, and as soon as it leaks, oh boy. But yeah, let me just zoom in on that. Yeah, you can see that it's clearly corroded and rusted on one end of it, but somehow it still works brilliantly. The batteries, you got to put the batteries in a weird way. You have to put the bottom ones first. Wait, shit, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. This side is the right way. For the bottom row, they go in like this. If I can get the ribbon on. But here's the weird part. You have to insert the first battery on the top row before you put the other battery in. And then you squeeze behind it, and now you can put the other battery in. That's one weird thing about the jWIN. That's one weird thing. But yeah, the tuners on these things are questionably good. These LEDs have a tendency to burn out sometimes. So honestly, I give the build quality a, how do you say, I would honestly rate this build quality in between, because it's not really too good. You know, with the flaws with the buttons and all that, that's what kills its build quality, because it's just, I really don't understand how they could pull something like this off and still sell it. Ugh. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next feature, and that would be the final thoughts of the jWIN JX-M133. So, in conclusion on the jWIN JX-M133, it's a good radio, but there are some major flaws with it, unfortunately. I thought this radio would be way better than what it was revealed as tonight. I thought it was going to be a better radio than that, but damn. I cannot believe that this radio actually has some flaws with the buttons. I thought these would be fine, but apparently not. So, yeah. Anyway, as we move on from tonight, I just want to extend my personal prayers to a close friend of mine who is currently going through a rough time, and that's why I've been taking so long to review it, because you've noticed that as time went on, you noticed that the time on the jWIN was, one time it was 1220 something, then it was 130 something, then 230, then 250 something, and then it went to 308, I think. I don't remember, but there was a reason for that. As I was reviewing this radio, I was basically comforting a close friend of mine, so that's why it took a little bit to review it, and I'm sorry if I sound down, but I'm trying to stay as optimistic as possible just for the sake of this series and for the sake of entertaining you guys as well. Valerie had to leave to go do something, so yeah. In conclusion, I can say that the jWIN is an okay radio at best. They are rare to find, yes, but hey, at least these radios do the job regardless of how they are. So, that's the most important thing. They save lives, and they are built for that specific purpose. So, everybody, on that note, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for future videos like this. Also, subscribe to MontyCat33 and the Siren Geek for, again, lending me all those beautiful radios that are currently in the bucket, and on some of them on my bed as well. But, yeah, special thanks to them. Also, thanks to Miss VR for joining this episode of the jWIN JX-M133. So, yeah, stay tuned for next week's episode. I will give you a little hint for now on what it is. It's transparent-ish, but it's nice and blue. What could that be? Find out next week on Radio Reviews Season 8, as we will be back shortly with a new episode coming your way. So, this is Clay Ranger 143 signing out with Miss VR, although she could not be here at this time. But we will see you next week on a brand new episode. Bye-bye.